12 years ago, buying Slam PH magazines and reading.
Oh, shit.
You were a writer there, so I
He's an
recognized the name.
OG.
Oh, yeah.
My guy.
And from time to time, I still watch yung clips
Ayun,
niya
yun,
sa
yun.
FTW.
Yes, we're
And,
live.
like, it's perfect, like, I know,
Yeah,
background
keep going,
noise
Emile. Keep
for
going.
me.
I appreciate you, my guy.
Yeah.
Emile, I can see the brown on your upper lip.
What's that?
Hello, everyone.
Uh,
The voice you just heard was Emile glazing Carlo.
yeah, syempre, like, it's my first time, meeting Sir
Pero
Carlos.
kita
Oh
na
my
ng lahat.
God.
Kita na ng lahat.
Sarap ng merienda ni Emile.
Like, di ko pa palagpasin yung chance na magpaka-fanboy muna.
I appreciate you and your entire existence, sir. Appreciate you so much.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. And syempre sa yung work mo with the PBA, like kaya nga sobrang idol ko kayo.
Thank you, bro. I'm running out of words to say.
Okay lang po.
Okay, let's start na din.
You could just hit him
Salamat,
with, that's crazy.
bro. Appreciate you.
Ikaw naman, Emile, pinatanda mo si Carlo, kaya dad lang niya si Bray Wyatt. Ano ka ba?
Yeah. Choose the dead guy, motherfucker. Shit.
Tingnan yung
My face
name
hurts from
niya.
laughing.
Like, high school me was such a like sports nerd na, so.
Damn, how young are you, bro? Shit.
You know everyone can see this, can hear you, right?
Yeah. I'm 26, turning 27.
Well, yeah, that makes sense then. High school, yeah. I've been on this for a bit.
Mga friends, walang play Nathan this Thursday. As you can all hear,
Puro love lang.
it's the opposite of play Nathan. The chat is saying hi to Carlo.
What's up? Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone, by the way, in the comments.
Countdown is live.
Yeah. D Prime, Lance, Franz, Ina.
Actually, since sinabi ni Carlo na he's been at this for a while, congratulate natin siya for 10 years in the PBA.
Hey! Congratulations.
10 years.
10 years.
In the making.
10 years.
I'm gonna do the Seth Rollins promo.
Okay. So before Carlo does this, pag nagsa-sound check kami, merong loop. It's the same loop every day, every show. So it's a clip from the New Day and Rey Mysterio going back and forth backstage. And then Seth Rollins doing a promo sa Go Home Raw before Raw on Netflix debut. And then a clip from the War Raiders and Priest versus the Judgment Day. So yung promo ni Rollins, kabisado na namin because every day we have to listen to it.
Natawa lang ako sa 10 years ni Stan. Yeah, pag nasasabi yung 10 years, I have to continue. The voice of the voiceless.
Yeah, so Rollins goes 10 years in the making. The voice of the voiceless versus the visionary. The Second City Saint versus the Monday Night Messiah. The best in the world versus the real best in the world.
Wow, word for word.
Yeah.
Yes. Every day mo ba naman marinig?
One-on-one versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, we have
All
to listen
day.
to that every day.
All day on loop.
Jeez.
Dati hindi. Like when we started, it was like a clip from the previous week's show. Ngayon hindi na eh. It's the same clip. Happy WrestleMania week to all those who celebrate. Dami natin iperpredict ngayon. Stand and Deliver. This is probably the biggest Stand and Deliver card ever.
Yeah. And the earliest start time.
Don't get us started on that. Oh boy. Oh.
Meron kaming kilalang isang manonood sa inyo.
Oh boy.
Ng Stand and Deliver.
Actually, there's someone here sa like page namin, sa like page ng podcast who wants to do a viewing party from Stand and Deliver all the way until night 1.
It'll work kung pajama party or something.
Or commit drugs.
Oh my God.
Kung merong drugs.
I hate drugs.
Doon ka sa skinny mics ng alauna. Anong gagawin mo from 3:30 hanggang 7? Pucha, tambay ka sa 3
Tulog ka.
parkade.
Hindi matulog ka sa ano.
Tutulog
Saan?
na.
Sa 3 parkade?
Hindi, sa bar.
Oh, to sa mga big
Pamasahe ka
couches.
sa Nuwat Thai.
Meron pala tayong questions from the patrons for Carlo. So we'll get to that sa last part of the show. We opened the mailbag.
Mailbag episode din pala to. It's
Bad.
Siyempre susulitin natin. It's the first time we've had Carlo on in 4 years.
4 years of
It's been
God
that
damn.
long?
It's been
Has
that
it
long.
been that long?
Yes. Si Carlo pa yung nag-request. Siya pa yung nag-text, bro, I wanna do WrestleMania predictions with you guys. Siyempre, di natin palalampasin yan.
Naglag pa eh.
Oo. Para si Jake Cuenca yung nag-text, uy, gusto ko mag-predictions episode.
Hey, that's been a while.
yeah.
Those were the days. Hanggang Raw After Mania. Hindi, Doc G, ikaw lang. Kung gusto mo hanggang Raw After Mania, nasa skinny mics ka, bahala ka sa buhay mo.
To be fair, malamig naman sa skinny mic. So,
Eh, kung sinaraduan ka, di walang aircon. Oh.
Yun yung pinaka-hassle sa akin actually. Parang I'd want to watch a viewing party, but then when, right? Can you guys?
No, you
can
can't.
guys-
Stan can't
No, no.
anymore, so you can't either.
Can you do a viewing party na Saturday night's main event or something, just so we're not working and we can join you guys?
that's like the
Can
only...
you?
that's the only like...
Or
event.
maybe the Hall of Fame or something. Di ba? Parang makapunta man lang kami.
Dude, Hall of Fame is like 1 p.m. after SmackDown.
Yeah, that's probably
Sheesh.
not gonna work.
Okay, teka. OBB na. We gotta shut up.
Please hit my music and My name is Colin Cash Money Cannon.
What do we want to talk about?
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
You're still just a kid. Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I'm home.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name!
Amen. He appears.
Stan C, the voice of Philippine wrestling, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Momoran, the fancy dad. University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Chino Liao, Best Gout Machine, San Sebastian College Recoletos, College of St. Benilde, De La Salle University, International Academy of Film and Television.
Emile Nate, small forward, the Ateneo de Naga University.
Rowan ASH, bad boy ng dance floor ng Quezon City, Central Scholar University, Manila.
I love you solo! Then you're listening.
You're listening.
And you're listening
And you're listening to the Wrestling
podcast. And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. To the Wrestling Podcast.
Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stan C, Ro Moran, and Emile Nate wishing you a happy WrestleMania week. It is the biggest week for our favorite fandom, our industry, and syempre we gotta do it big right before WrestleMania 41. We've got a special guest. He is the better half of the Boses ng Pilipino sa WWE. Please welcome my partner on commentary, Carlo Pamintuan.
May nag-request sa comment section eh. How are you doing? It's fun to finally rejoin you guys here.
Yeah, for those who weren't able to catch yung pre-show natin, it's been 4 years since Carlo was last on the podcast. He joined us for episode number 700 when we celebrated our 7th anniversary. Naka-11th anniversary na kami. We're approaching episode 1000 at this point.
Congratulations, man. Happy to be back.
Thank you. For those who don't know, the podcast is actually very much influenced by From the Stands, yung pod ni na Carlo, Chuck Araneta, and Polo Bustamante. And that's one of the OG fan-made podcasts that really elevated people into mainstream sportscasting. So, From the Stands walked so the Wrestling podcast could crawl ever so slowly.
And then disappeared. But I appreciate the words, man. Parang ang sarap balikan, parang all those years ago, starting out with Chuck and Polo, it was a fresh, new avenue just to air out your parang being fanboys, diba? Parang ilalabas mo lang, wala kang pakialam. If anyone was listening, if anyone was watching, you really didn't care. It was, I'm sure like you guys, it was an excuse to actually hang out with each other. And then it turned out into something more. And then I'm just happy that there were podcasts that followed and you guys continue until today.
Yeah, so much so na Emile Nate, who was an OG Carlo Pamintuan fan, got to mark out as soon as Carlo entered the call.
Di na ako naghintay.
Sabi ko nga, Emile, I appreciate your existence. Thank you so much for the kind words. At ang tanda ko na, guys. Grabe. Nung sinabihan niyang back in high school, I was like, oh, wow. The dude went high school on me.
I'm sure you're used to getting that sa PBA, diba, whenever fans run into you. But, man, we have a lot to talk about for today, syempre. We gotta predict, stand, and deliver, and both cards of WrestleMania 41. But before we do that, Ro, i-announce natin yung special announcement for the viewing party this weekend.
Oh, it's not so special, but we are allowing walk-ins for the viewing party on Sunday and Monday. And we don't know kung magpapakasya natin lahat, but we will try. The bar itself, the bar themselves have given us the opportunity to try. So, bahala na. But for sure, those who have signed up for early bird tickets, we will be prioritizing you for the table seating. So, wag kayong mag-alala. We will try to get you a table. And if you are coming in as a walk-in, you may have to deal with standing room if they allow standing room, or huli na kayo makakuha ng table. Yun lang. See you there.
Sila pala yung mag-stand and deliver. Sila pala yun.
All right. Waiter yung magde-deliver. Sila lang yung mag-stand.
Sila yung obstacle sa path ng mga waiter. Emile, tama ng tawa. Put over our Patreon and gang programs.
Alright, so first of all, thank you to everyone who attended yung quiz night natin nung Saturday night, and most of them are part of our Patreon program. So all you got to do is subscribe to either Patreon or Gang. Patreon.com/wrestling podcast and gangnow.com/wrestling2xpod for those $5. You'll get benefits. You get the Discord server, and you get first dibs and discounts to everything, to events, pasabays, everything and anything. So ayan, so thank you to our patrons who kept supporting us in the last 11 years, and thank you sa mga magsusubscribe and magsusupport pa dito sa Wrestling Podcast. Again, the links are patreon.com/wrestling podcast and gagnow.com/wrestling2xpod.
All right, since si Emile Nate sumisip-sip siya kay Carlo kanina, tayo naman sisip-sip sa Converge.
Okay, Emile, go for it.
All right, so people are wondering where they can watch WrestleMania, where they can watch WWE, and you can watch it on Blast TV and on Netflix, which you can get in the new Converge Netflix bundle. There are tatlong tiers of that plan. I got the 2298 just because of the next Netflix Premium. So aside from the Netflix, you'll get high-speed internet. You'll get the Experience Box, which I'm using. I think I'm gonna bring that this Sunday, bro. Yung Experience Box. Yeah, probably. Let's see.
If you say so.
And you can in this experience box, you can install Netflix. Blast TV is already pre-installed there, and WWE Network as well. You can also install that. So it's a great overall experience ever since we upgraded to the Converge bundle. So you can either go to your local Converge office or email or call their customer service so that you could upgrade or you can subscribe.
Alright? Hindi po yan paid advertisement. Talagang gusto lang namin na mapansin kami ng Converge. Okay. Let's get to Stand and Deliver, which is happening, checks notes, Sunday, 1 a.m. Manila time.
Wow. So early.
Let's start with Carlo. Paano ba natin mape-preserve yung mga katawang lupa natin para mag-stand and deliver tapos mag-WrestleMania?
Sakto yun kasi magsisimba ako ng mga alas Gs, tapos may salubong, di ba? Tapos may fireworks. Pag uwi mo, rekta na ng sound check para sa Stand and Deliver. But so excited for the show. It's, di ba, alam nyo naman na me and Stan are doing NXT for the first time this year. So hindi pa kami talaga nagkakaroon ng ganun kahabang experience because it's a different show altogether. Iba yung feels, iba yung lahat. But it's really good to get to know the talents in NXT because aminado naman ako kay Stan. When we started, sabi ko, Stan, I'll have to catch up with this because I know the top level on NXT, but the mid-card and yung mga papasok pa lang, I don't get to watch them a lot. So now that I've gotten my feet wet with NXT, boy, I can't wait for Stand and Deliver.
Kilala niyo na si Kendall Gray at si Carly Bright.
Magkakamali pa rin paminsan-minsan, pero bayan
Alam ko na, magpapa-viewing party tayo ng Evolve para makanood si Carlo.
At least yun, legit sa YouTube naman eh. Alright, expectations, Ro and Emile, para sa Stand and Deliver.
Biggest show of the year for NXT. And it seems like they really stacked up the card this time. Kasi they went beyond yung 5-match template that they've been using for a while now. Kasi I look at actually, first time ko lang kanina makita yung full card and I'm surprised na sobrang daming matches on the card for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Or anything, I got my C2 right here. Hey, no, it's gonna be a fun show. I think NXT always delivers in the ring. I think it's not gonna be any different. I don't know lang kung magkakaroon ng major ground shaking status quo changes. So we'll see. But I do know that it's gonna be a fun show, wrestling wise, diba? Lagi naman eh.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's start with the Countdown Show, which features a number one contenders fatal four-way elimination tag match with stakes. So the winner goes on to challenge the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, presumably after Mania. So whether it's Liv and Raquel or Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. So yung 4 tag teams are Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, Fatal Influence, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, or the Meta Girls. Let's start with you, Emile.
I think this will be a call up for the Meta Girls finally. So I expect them to win. Kasi they will go up against the WWE Tag Team Champions. So I think this is their graduation match, and they're gonna be on Raw or SmackDown after Mania.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Ro.
I think Bayley and Lyra are gonna win. Tapos Roxanne and Cora are gonna go up.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like naudot yung call up ng Meta Girls eh. So I think they're gonna spend some more time on NXT.
Mm-hmm. Eto, Carlo, this is the one match we're not gonna call on the show.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Ako, I think that the entire build of this was for Roxanne. It's basically an apology that she's not, in the top level of the card. So getting this tag team matchup done, I think it's a setup for what's next. I'd want to agree with Ro that it's the long story between Roxanne and Bayley that will come together at some point. But I kind of want, this is skipping to the next part, but I kind of still want Raquel and Liv to retain. Mm-hmm. But I agree with Ro the fact that he thinks that si Roxanne at saka si Cora Jade yung mananalo.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's get to the 6-man tag between Dark State and the D'Angelo family. So, sila? Parang free bird sila eh. Di rin nila alam kung sino yung Hindi pa natin alam, rather, kung which 3 guys from Dark State yung lalaban.
Wala tong stipulations? This is just a straight up...
Wala. Sapakan lang.
Fight.
After NXT, this should have been like a street fight or something.
Sige, sabihin natin kay Mr. Stone. Teka lang. Message natin siya.
Kasi yung parking lot brawl was kind of them teasing. Akala ko it's gonna be a street fight.
Mm-hmm. So who do you think wins, Emile?
Dark State.
Yeah, Dark State. You know, they're the new faction eh.
Yep.
And syempre, you know, when you're the new faction, you're gonna go over.
Mm-hmm. Nalilito ko ba, Carlo, with the Dark State guys?
Hindi na. Feeling ko kaya ko na sila. Like
Uh-huh.
I think I've done enough to define who they are and like put mnemonic devices on everything.
Mnemonic device. Alam Michael Scott.
para masigurado which guy is which, but hindi na ako malilito. As long as I have those guys, I'm cool. Yeah.
And I think at the very least, if you can tell Cutler James apart, then you're good.
But he's the easiest to tell apart.
Yes,
right?
that's the joke. All right. Next up, NXT Tag
Osiris yung
Team.
mukhang oso, so O to O.
Michael Scott talaga ang puta.
Hey, if it helps, it helps, di ba?
Yeah, sure. You have to make things work, bro.
All right, next, you've got the NXT Tag Team Championship, Fraxium versus Hank and Tank.
First off, I was not a fan of dalawang gauntlet matches na first team yung mananalo that will survive everything. It's like having two Royal Rumbles where your number one or number two will win both the men's and women's. So not a huge fan of how things worked out similarly between Hank and Tang and yung kay Bailey and Lyra. But again, I understand the storytelling part of how they've been, looking for identity. Tapos pinakita nila sa atin na matibay naman talaga on their own. I like the matchup. I don't think there's a chance that they will give the tag team championships to Hank and Tang. But I like where they are going, at least with the push of those guys.
It's easy to say na mananalo si Fraction. But then we've always been predicting over the past year na whoever Fraction was going up against, but matatalo sila. And I don't know. I feel like this is the super out of left field matchup here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say then that Fraction wins, but it's also entirely possible that Hank and Tank win, and then I don't know. They finally start whatever breakup story that Fraction has.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It feels like this is the sly, underhanded story of the card. So yeah, I will be contrarian and pick Hank and Tank.
Ooh.
I've been following this Hank and Tank story for weeks now. Kasi it's one of the most underrated things that's happening on NXT. And as ang akin lang, they won't invest in having the main roster tag teams go on to NXT just to have segments with Hank and Tank if they're not going to put them over. So I feel like the story here is Hank and Tank finally achieving something. And I think at this point, Faction has already, done everything as tag team champions. I actually think they're gonna be called up after Mania, so I go Hank and Tank here for the win.
All right. You've also got a ladder match for the vacant NXT Women's North American Championship. So Sol Ruka versus Kelani Jordan versus Zarya versus Izzy Dame versus Lola Vice versus a returning Thea Hale.
Ako, I really don't care who wins. I just need a dumbass soul snatcher from a ladder somehow. That's what I want from that match. As long as I get that, I'm cool. Parang okay na. Kahit sino manalo sa inyo, I need my Sol Ruka moment even if she doesn't win.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zarya wins this. She's the strongest contender out of everyone, and they've been positioning her as the second or third on the women's division behind Stephanie and Julia. So I go with Zarya here.
Kahit wala pa ring pangalan yung finisher niya.
It's a ladder match anyway. So
Saying hey to everyone watching on YouTube, by the way. JM, Anthony, Albert, David. Anthony asks, "Why do you not like the Soul Snatcher, Carlo?" I don't think he said he didn't like it. I think he wanted to see a really good one.
To see a really good one.
He wants to see a really good one.
Yeah, I want to go bolt out. I mean, it's one of the best finishers in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a huge fan of it.
Yeah. So my pick for this is I want to see Thea Hale get rewarded for her work up until the breakup ng Chase U. So yes, Saria, I understand the position of Saria, but she's also kind of been cold comparatively compared to Stephanie and Julia. So I kind of want to see Thea pick up that win.
All right, next up, we've got a match taken straight off of a Dynamite card. Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship.
But before we start, 1-1 kami ni Stan in terms of misnaming Ricky Saints. Tabla kaming dalawa.
Nadudulas ka pa eh.
Ricky Starks.
Pagkita ba kayo?
It's so hard. It's so hard to get it out of your head, di ba?
Pinapagalitan ba kayo?
No, hindi naman.
But we take it personally when we make a mistake like that.
Yeah. So who wins this one? Does Ricky Saints retain it? I think this is his first title defense.
Yep. You can't have 2 titles lost on the first title defense, right? It's just not going to happen. I don't know if it's a straight up win or it will be a non-finish, but Ricky Saints will retain, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any other way to go about it. I mean, greedy na nga si Greedy na nga si Ethan Page already going after the TNA World Championship, diba?
Yung
same weekend.
Yeah, I agree. It's Ricky Saints to win this one. So, he's going to retain.
Yeah, I just gotta
Albert says Eddie Thorpe will cost either of them.
Yeah, I was about to bring up Eddie Thorpe. Sobrang natuwa ako doon sa promo niya na parang another greedy white man trying to take everything. I can't believe that line was actually said on TV.
Tapos yung mukha ni Wesley, he's kind of right.
He's right.
I'm starting to become a fan of Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah.
Wow! Context pala. Context,
Anyway.
Carlos. Si Emile was an Eddie Thorpe hater.
Okay.
Like one time on the stream, Emile called Eddie Thorpe a bitch.
A B word.
Oh, the B word. So from there, nagkaroon siya ng segment where nag-rant siya against the bitches in his life.
What why? What led to you not like? I want to understand.
It was the story of him complaining about the Iron Survivor storyline. He kept complaining about he got screwed in this match, but then Eva gave him another chance to make that to make the match, but still complain. So that's when I got dun ako napuno kay Eddie Thorpe.
I got
that
you.
one time.
But we're friends now, so I agree with you. I side with my own people.
All right, we're down to the top championships on NXT. Let's start with a fatal 4-way for the NXT women's title. Stephanie Vaquer defends against Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker.
This is tough.
They sent her to Chile, and shot stuff there. I mean, they can't take the championship out of her hands that quickly, right? But if they would and give it back to Julia, maybe that makes sense. I still don't understand the need for a double champion at that point. Diba, narinig natin yung chismis na maybe Julia was injured and then all of a sudden hindi naman pala talaga, and then she's back and then she's going up against a friend in Stephanie Vaquer. So those are the only things that make sense for me. Either a title retention or Julia takes it away from Stephanie.
Hot take. Jordan Grace wins.
Ooh.
That's a wild card there.
I think she needed to win then. Kasi alam mo yung three big signings of the women's division over the past few months. So it's her, it's Jordan, Julia, and Stephanie. So I feel like it's her turn if sasalitan sila lahat. Diba?
They all take turns,
I think Jordan deserves to win as well.
This is tough for me. I want either Stephanie or Julia to win, but I think Julia's gonna Stephanie's gonna retain. Julia turns heel after the match. Like yung talagang heel turn na kukupalin niya si Stephanie Vaquer.
Mm-hmm. All right. And we'll round it out with the NXT Championship Triple Threat match. Oba Femi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans.
One of them will be revealed as this dark state leader by the end of this, I feel like.
You know, si Javon?
No, I actually said it was Trick. I said it was Trick a while back, and I'm still sticking by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I think, well, the Dark State leader question is Trick. The winner of the match and who walks out as champion, I still think it's Obafemi.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think Ober retains. This trick story of chasing and going crazy is too good to give him back the championship now.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. All right, that's Stand and Deliver. People in the comments just sending in their predictions as well for Stand and Deliver. Again, this one goes live at 1 a.m. Sunday, Manila time
God
sa
bless.
WWE Network. Or kung may VPN kayo gusto manood sa Netflix, go right ahead. Go switch to Singapore.
Yeah.
You'll find it there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yun yung safe. Meron bang comments on YouTube, bro, that you want to get to?
Lance is just trolling on YouTube as always. Albert says it would be funny if Jada wins. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. On that note, we will take a break. When we come back, we'll do WrestleMania Saturday right here on the Wrestling Podcast. But first, a quick word from our other podcasts on the Pod Network. All right, let's predict WrestleMania Saturday naman. We already know yung card for WrestleMania Saturday and WrestleMania Sunday. So far, 13 matches total. Last year, I believe we had 14, diba, for WrestleMania 40. So ngayon, 13 pa lang. 7-6. 7 on Saturday, 6 on Sunday. Do you want to go big picture first? Expectations for WrestleMania 41. Let's start with Carlo. Kasi this year, parang wala tayong big finish the story moment. Diba? Last year, we were coming in and it was all about Cody and Roman and The Rock. Ngayon, parang walang overarching big thing that will define the business other than, I guess, John Cena.
Saka wala kaming hoodie ni Stan for the first time in for the first time in 4 years of working with the WWE. Walang FedEx ngayon kasi normally 2 weeks before.
Baka late.
Okay na di ba? Nandyan na yan
Aanin natin yung hoodie in this weather.
Hindi, sa pag gumagawa na tayo ng WrestleMania, maghuhubad ako para makita nilang wala akong suot, na miss ko yung hoodie. No, but going back to your point, yung buong WrestleMania last year was basically a 2-year build, right? Even the WrestleMania where Cody Rhodes lost was a build towards it. Well, you can't get a story like that every year. Parang tanggapin na lang natin na parang we were living in a very lucky situation kung saan we were able to follow that story and wait for it to cook and let it simmer, and then all of a sudden you get the ending that you want. Not all WrestleManias could turn out that way, and especially when you inject a retiring John Cena into the equation. But I think in terms of the matches, the names that are there, I'm still super excited to watch the cards. Yes, we might not get that big story, the overarching story. Parang wala nga ring bloodline theme, no? At all, yung WrestleMania as compared to the last maybe 4 na meron kahit papano, yung bloodline top of the card. But I think match quality would be super important for us to remember this WrestleMania. Because in terms of the storylines, some of them will feel a bit rushed because they were, di ba? Yung ilan, parang kailan lang natin nalaman. Literally, we're still trying to find out maybe who Randy Orton will take on, right? we just found out who the tag team challengers will be. Sobrang daming we had to rush in the final weeks before WrestleMania to find out, so we could not have the time to cook the story. But I think that is where the quality comes in. Pinagsama-sama nila yung mga veterano naman, so they could give us a good WrestleMania in terms of maybe matches and not really the story that was behind it.
Yeah, to your point about how there's no big overarching moment, I think where or who failed in that regard was the John Cena Cody Rhodes story. Anthony here on YouTube has a comment that says, "It's very predictable. How do you make it? How do you make the ending of WrestleMania more entertaining if you already know, quote unquote, that John Cena is going to win the 17th championship?" First, I don't think that's necessarily true. It skews heavily that way, yes, but I don't think that's essentially a lock. But I will say that they spent 3 weeks of the John Cena story not really building much of anything between him and Cody, diba? Like I feel like they were the ones who were tasked to deliver that big picture moment. But then, because John Cena couldn't make it to the last 2 weeks of TV before WrestleMania, tapos they didn't really do much of stakes building when they were interacting with each other. I felt like it eventually fell flat, diba? Like again, I keep saying on the live stream, I keep saying here on the podcast that now the Jey Uso Gunther story is what's more compelling, diba?
Yeah.
When we're talking about someone who is trying to ascend to another level, diba? Jey Uso, and seeing whether he can do that is what's more exciting to me. And that's not even the main story. It's like a B story on a C story compared to John's Cody and John's A story and the triple threat B story, diba? So sad lang. Ritz is right here in that it does feel like the start of a new build, the back half, the first half of a new build for long-term stories. But at the same time, you still could have done world building while still having a big dynamic, big story that captures everyone's imagination. And I don't think they succeeded there.
In terms of the build, of course, we can say that it didn't live up to the same build as last year. Kasi last year parang everything fell into place eh. Like everything that needed to happen happened last year. So parang nagkaroon sila ng reset after WrestleMania 40 and we're just like building it brick by brick. And so parang kumbaga hindi pa buo yung mga stories, and maybe WrestleMania 41 won't be, the fairy tale ending that people experienced last year. So I don't know, you guys have a point. And I would also agree to sa point ni Carlo na the build may not be as great, but I feel like babawi sila sa match quality. Kasi the caliber of talent that they have on this card, for sure, they can produce excellent matches left and right. So yung vibe ko dito parang WrestleMania 31 din eh. Like the build was kind of underwhelming, but once you get to the event, they're gonna cook.
All right.
But
so WrestleMania.
One point lang going back to Raw. Parang what was the moment that made you feel that you were all in dun sa Jay versus Gunter? Was it Jimmy getting
fridged?
Oh, it was last week's promo
Okay.
where he was finally walking in with a serious look on his face. I
Yeah. Yeah.
Alam mo yun, he referenced the family, and then he really brought in the gravitas that was missing from his character. Which I guess people were complaining about. When you think of Jey Uso, you only really think of the yeeting and the catchphrases and the moves of doom, diba? So I liked seeing him take that step forward.
Ako kasi it was the Jimmy match. It was the Jimmy beat down. And then iniisip ko na lang, like if John Cena only did something similar to R-Truth, that would have taken me over the top. Like if yung childhood hero ni R-Truth na si John Cena dumating tapos binugbog lang niya nang wala lang kahit nasa backstage, parang like total heel, right? Parang just yakapin mo na yung buong pagka-heel, because after he did what he did with The Rock, parang he was still trying to fight for morals. Parang I was looking for more heelish things coming from John Cena na parang sinasabi niya, kasalanan niyo to kasi binubu niyo naman ako dati, 'di ba? Parang which is all true. Totoo naman lahat ng sinabi niya. So I wanted him to really take a step into the dark side, and I thought that R-Truth was the perfect victim for it, because how can you hate on R-Truth? Diba? Kung pinadugo mo si R-Truth, like how Gunther did it to Jimmy, boy, that I think that would have killed it.
Yeah.
Wala masyadong ginawang heelish thing si John Cena.
Diba? He was bitching and complaining.
Yeah, aside from going after Cody.
He was being an Eddie Thorpe. Yes.
Ito, a hot take about the John Cena thing. What if he premeditated everything by going on that CVV interview and then giving you a preview of what to expect by turning heel and then not delivering? Because now, after having listened to the Chris Van Vliet interview, we're all thinking, oh, if John Cena were to turn heel, sabi niya may new music siya. Sabi niya he'll change all of his presentation, his attire, do all of that stuff. And then he didn't give us any of it. So nakakapikon, diba? And that's still classic heel work. Now you promise something and you don't deliver. So what if that was the plan and this is actually what Cena's been doing all this time?
No, that's not what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for new music. I wasn't looking for a new presentation. I just wanted to see him do heelish things and not just spend the next 3 weeks or 3 weeks after a couple of weeks since the heel turn, jaw-jacking with Cody. Like, okay, once was enough. One major promo explaining everything was enough. Then do other things. Parang wala, nagbangay lang sila eh. Diba? And then, di pa rin ako makapaniwala na, John was really this bitter this whole time.
Bumawi naman sila this Saturday because Cena's gonna make an appearance. So, I hope they do something there.
Okay, I hope.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Let's get to the card for WrestleMania Saturday. We're going to start with the World Tag Team Championship, the War Raiders versus the New Day. Ito si Emile. He's really excited for this matchup.
All right. Okay, so since the plan here is put the New Day over, since that's...
Talaga? Yun ba yung plano, Emile?
No, that's
alam mo, ba't di nila alam?
No, that's the story heading into this match. It's the New Day after turning heel and after going on that endless feud with the LWO. Okay, now they're setting their sights on the tag team titles. So I think you give them that WrestleMania moment. So I go with the New Day here.
Yeah, same.
Hard same. Yep.
All right. Thank God for the New Day.
Thank God.
Next up, Naomi versus Jade Cargill, the first ever or the first singles women's match na walang championship at stake since Tori Wilson versus Candice Michelle in 2006.
God damn.
Wow, really?
Yes.
God. Oh my God. It's been a while. Kasi
Wait, bra and panties match ba yun? Just asking for a friend.
It was a Playboy pillow fight.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I feel like Naomi will benefit.
I was looking for a reason why it was a WrestleMania.
I think Naomi will benefit big time here with the win. I know Jade is a star, but she's a star na din nonetheless. Eh.
Damn, what? You telling me you take out Jade, you sideline her for months, and then you have her come back to lose? God damn.
Why not?
I don't want to work for you, Emile. Kaya na kung ikaw yung bore ko.
That's me. That's you establish Naomi as the biggest heel on the SmackDown roster by having her beat Jade. So
Jade wins and then Naomi does something after match to continue the feud.
Yeah, Jade wins. Like, come on. Jade took the biggest L for staying home for this whole time. Emile wants to have her lose. Sino ka? Si Tony Khan?
Hey. Who are you taking shots?
May stray bigla eh. Thanks, Emile. All right, next up. Ito, a match of Lucha Libre legends in Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano.
I hate this so much.
Talaga, I love this so much. Sobrang enjoy ako every time this comes up. I'm having a blast.
No, but no. I get where Carlos coming from.
I hate love it. It's both. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Ganito. if Ray loses this match, then everything that people have said about the El Grande Americano storyline becomes true.
Bakit?
Kasi,
But it's Republican.
yeah,
What have they
exactly.
said?
Kasi the whole point of the whole mocking Lucha Libre thing was that so that your actual luchadors and your lucha legend would beat the guy and restore honor to Lucha Libre. Diba?
Mhm.
That's the entire idea. So if that doesn't happen, then you just took a huge shit on Lucha Libre and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, this is obviously gonna end with El Grande Americano being unmasked.
Talaga?
Agad?
Yeah.
Agad?
Yeah, I feel like this
Alam
is,
pala ni Emile yung plans. Shit.
No, I feel like that's how it's Ray wins, and then
You like to
I'm
use
sur-
words like obviously. So,
I'm surprised they didn't have a mask versus mask stipulation actually.
Because then it's impossible for Ray to lose.
Yun nga, okay, that's fair.
I
That's a
mean-
fair point. Fair point. Yeah, but I think Ray wins, and then unmasking will happen.
I'm gonna have so much fun with this match. It's gonna be like Ray versus Dom from 2 years ago. Na sobrang na back and forth lang kami ni Carlo. That was super fun, and it's gonna be a lot of the same for this one.
Because Stan kayfabes it, and I real life it. So it's a good interaction between us two.
Oh, kailangan ni Carlo magpaka-straight man. It's just super fun, man. This shit. Any Rey Mysterio WrestleMania match at this point.
Yeah.
Right,
Agreed.
next up, the United States Championship's on the line. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu.
I think I've told Stan this, or no. It's another conversation I had with a PBA writer. I think this is the John Cena versus Big Show United States Championship moment for Jacob Fatu. I think this is a star making. I'm going to be a United States champion now, and I'm going to be a world champion by the next 365 days. Parang it feels like that heavy a moment for Jacob, because I think LA Knight can take a loss and still be okay. Right? Parang wala namang magbabago sa presentation niya with or without the championship. But if you put a title on Jacob Fatu ahead of Solo, then it means na parang okay. We're putting eggs in that basket right here, right now.
I agree. This would be a big cap off to Jacob Fatu's rookie year. He's a tag team champion, and now he's going to win the United States champion. So I agree. I'm going with Jacob here.
yeah, I like that as well. And then I think after this, we'll move forward with the whole solo feud,
yeah.
diba? Kasi naunahan ni diba? Naunahan ni Jacob Fatu yung solo magka-championship. So I think there's a story, there's money waiting to be made in that story.
Gusto ko may video kayo sa Skinny Mikes na yung buong bar nangingisay parang si Jacob Fatu pag nanalo na siya. Sobrang saya siguro na.
Y'all heard it here.
Nangingisay.
Emile, ikaw yung maglilid mangingisay ka muna. Next up, WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus
Lord.
Charlotte Flair.
Oh,
boy!
Oh, Lord.
Man.
Oh boy!
Have you talked about how we reacted during the
I'm not sure kung nasabi ko na sa stream, but so when Tiffany, who Carlo was translating for, dropped the 0-3 divorce line, Carlo was so shocked, tumahimik siya, puta. He was just like, yo, ako bumawi ako, sabi ko, hoy, ano sinasabi ni Tiffany Stratton?
Wala kasing divorce sa Pilipinas.
it jarred me so much that I stopped working for like 3 seconds.
Naghang si Carlo.
Natigilan ako, parang sasabihin ko talaga yun na 3 beses na siyang diborsyada. Natigilan ako, legit. I had to stop dahil parang I did not know they would cross that line.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Sinigaw mo
Emile.
ba yung Sinigaw mo ba yung DMs?
Yeah, I did. I don't stop, dude.
Okay.
God, if they know what's good for them, they won't make Charlotte win. Diba? Like people are rejecting the entire idea of her winning the Rumble. Diba? And Tiffany is so over. You might as well have Charlotte be the stepping stone for Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. There should be a Tiffany win. Charlotte was put in that position to put over a younger star. And I think Tiffany will have more to lose if she loses here than Charlotte will gain if she wins. So I'll go with Tiffany. I just hope this match goes well.
Sabi ni Lance in the comments, Tiffany versus Charlotte, blood sport.
Should be fun. I just hope the match lives up to the build. And that's wild to say because diba, the first 2 weeks after Charlotte chose Tiffany, it was meh, right? Diba? Parang nothing was happening. You didn't care too much about the match. And then that promo battle happened and like, okay, I'm paying attention to this now. Kaya parang sana umabot dun sa level nung kailangan nilang makuha from Tiffany specifically because as good as she has been, of course, it's different when you have to do like 15, 20 minutes with Charlotte Flair, right? That's a sink or swim moment. So if she's really good, if they are, pushing her to the moon, then she will have to show us something during this match.
Sobrang lakas talaga ng hatak ni Carlo Pamintuan. Nanonood si Direk Christian Encarnacion from Signal TV.
My guy.
And Matthew Lee from the Tiebreaker Times.
Hey,
hello,
Matt.
friends.
What's up, man?
Hey, squad.
All right, next up, the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther versus Jey Uso.
Hirap nito. This is so hard. Yeah. You can make a case for both of them.
Ang lala nung comment ni Christian, sorry.
Basahin mo, Carlo. Hindi ka na maghang ngayon.
Ludwig Kaiser manggugulo sa laban tapos kakampi kay Charlotte. Totoo yung DM.
Gusto ko yung meme May magandang meme na may gym photo ni Ludwig Kaiser. Parang the only one na inaccuse of sending DMs pero alam na lahat na hindi totoo.
The only guy in the world.
World title, Gunther versus Jey. Emile, who wins this one?
This is gonna open. By now, it's gonna be the opener for
Hindi ko alam, Emile. Ikaw yung nakakaalam ng plano eh.
Oh, ikaw scripted, diba?
No,
Let us know.
I read something.
Drop knowledge on us.
I read something earlier on Twitter na baka daw this open. So, you know what? I'll give Jey Uso the win here. People have been going back and forth with this feud. People have been going back and forth with Jey Uso. So how can you know he's main event worthy or not? But if you're not giving him the championship here at his like absolute peak, diba? So they told a good story naman by the end. So it's a thing na okay, it's late, but at least nagawa nila ng paraan. Because this feud for the first month or so was wala talaga, walang momentum, walang anything, and then they did the Jimmy thing, and okay, that was it, diba? So I think Jey Uso wins here. Jey Uso wins. You have to give the guy his title win here.
It's gonna piss off so many people if Jey wins, but also to some extent, to some degree, the internet isn't real, but it's also real at the same time, because you have signs saying that you have people in the crowd hating Jey, but there are also a lot of people in the crowd loving Jey. So I think whatever happens here is going to be polarizing. So if it's going to be polarizing anyway, you might as well make the new star and have Jey win. At least reward him for getting over, because for being a top merch mover, for being organically over, breaking free from the Usos, from the bloodline. So I think he deserves it. I think he deserves the money. He adjusted to the pitfalls of his story, the build up. Things happen, shit happens, and I feel that even if it's a quick run with the championship, it's gonna be beneficial for him. It's gonna be a good moment.
I don't like the look of Gunther losing to Sami Zayn and Jey Uso after being built up as a monster in Manias. Diba? Parang sabi niya nga dun sa promo niya, 80% of the time he's been here in the WWE, he was champion. So parang we've been building him up to become this monster heel. Pero wala siyang clutch gene. Natatalo siya pag WrestleMania. Parang is that what what we're trying to tell? Okay. Is that the story that we are pinning on Gunther? Na okay, regular season, fine. You're this amazing superstar, but then during the finals, you lose.
Are
And
you talking
then
about Gunther or Luka Doncic?
Oh no, Stan, no. I'm not gonna accept that. Come on.
yeah, I'm checking out of this chat. No. To be fair to Stan, dineliver niya na kahapon. Binigay niya sa akin yung pinasabay ko sa inyo, which was the perfect shirt when I ordered it, right? When I ordered it, which was pre-Royal Rumble, I bought a shirt which was Raw and Dallas Mavs. It's like perfect. Parang there could not be a better shirt that defines who I am. Wrestling and the Dallas Mavericks. Ngayon pang pupunas ko ng puwet. Yun yung pinaka mahal na pampunas ng puwet dito sa buong bahay namin kasi I can't
I could have
even
sent
look
it to
at
you. I could have sent it to you when I got it before the trade.
I couldn't
Thanks,
even
Nico
look at
Harrison.
And by your decision. Good for you, bro.
Bawal ang camera sa press ko ng puta. Duwag ang puta. Daig pang politiko eh, puta.
It's always a good day when we get the chance to dunk on Nico Harrison.
Those are all my days. I live to hate on Nico Harrison. I hate him so much.
One last point on Jay. When did Jay become John Cena?
What do you mean?
Na sobrang polarizing and yet such a top star in merch
Kasi
movement.
nga, when people noticed that he was all about the catchphrases and he was just he was wrestling on a level like Cena was in the mid 2000s. Na basics lang, you know, especially when you piss off the people on the internet, when you piss off the fans on the internet. You're just gonna, you know, the fans of the internet are gonna want you to wrestle like you're in AEW, but that's not who Jey Uso is, diba? Especially as a singles competitor, he's not like that. So you compound those factors, and you add the fact that Jey Uso is getting love from the casuals who just love to eat, who just love to dance, just love to eat. That makes for a polarizing John Cena-esque reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I think it started the Rumble. The Rumble win was when a lot of people kind of soured on Jey Uso because they don't think he deserved to win over people like Cena or Punk. So doon nagsimula yun eh.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, time to talk about the main event of WrestleMania Saturday. And I was listening to the Masked Man show. And for years, diba, maraming nagdi-discredit dun sa WrestleMania Saturday main event kasi you're not really closing the event, so you're not the main event. But now that Punk's here, now that CM Punk gets to close WrestleMania Saturday, counted na yun kay Kevin Owens, counted na yun kay Sami Zayn and the Usos. So Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman.
I don't think I was on the podcast when you discussed this, your main event thing. And I just want to say that whole debate is really dumb. It still finishes the show, so it is a main event.
Yeah,
night one main event is still a main event.
Yeah, I consider those as main events.
Ever since ever since they started doing the 2 night thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so what other WrestleMania Saturday main events would you remember? Like top of your mind, ano yung pinaka tumatak sa inyo?
Yung
WrestleMania
Tag Team
Saturday?
Championship match.
That's it, right? Parang yun yung basehan or maybe
Sasha Bianca.
Yeah,
Sasha Bianca.
Or Cody Rhodes, Seth, diba? Parang
that was a main event, dude.
KO versus Austin.
KO versus Austin that year.
KO
that was our
Austin.
first Mania.
Yeah. Pero para sa akin kasi it's about remembering eh, 'di ba? Parang if you're put in a situation where you are remembered, then it feels like a main event. Right? I mean, there have been manias where the main event did not close the show. I mean, we could openly admit it, right? Yung mga sumunod dun sa Rock versus Hogan or yung sumunod sa HBK versus Undertaker. Sometimes you don't even remember, but you remember those matches. So main event is a funny word to use, but I think it's all about us remembering the moment, and this is definitely going to be remembered because it's going to deliver. I mean, Seth and Roman and CM Punk, it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. So who's winning this match, and what happens to Paul Heyman?
Emile, do you have an answer?
This is so tricky. I still stand by yung what I think will happen. Seth is gonna win, and Heyman's gonna align with Seth by the end of the night.
Yeah, that's what Anthony in the comments of YouTube, in the chat on the YouTube says. Seth wins because Paul Heyman screws Roman and Punk. So, but is that really a satisfying ending? I don't know.
It's the most left out of left field kasi.
Why would
So
I want
people
an out of left
suggest
field
that.
story?
At saka parang sa sobrang dami nung ganun yung opinion, hindi na siya left field at all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
na naging mainstream na siya. You know what I want? I want the Undertaker ending after a handicap match. Yung nanalo siya dun sa match for the safety of Paul Bearer, tapos nilunod niya sa semento.
Great American Bash 04.
So, Roman
Ano ba
wins.
yun? Parang, okay, Paul, okay, good job. But I guess at this point, you're not worth it anymore. But boom, malunod ka sa semento.
Who's gonna do that?
No, I'm just kidding.
Roman will Roman will put him in the concrete. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the original feud, which is Seth versus Punk, and remembering and noting that Punk won that first match. I am pulling for Seth to win because I still think he was right. I'm sorry, Punk was right versus Seth, but Seth needs a win over Punk.
Yeah.
So, I feel like he's owed the most here between the three of them. So not for nothing.
Yeah.
That's just what I feel. Kasi, they built a story out of Punk and Roman. Then they have a story between Seth and Roman, and then Seth and Punk. But it's not really a story that's made to be a triple threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Parang this shouldn't have been a triple threat if it weren't for WrestleMania. So I'm just gonna have Seth win it because he needs to win.
And the cage match doesn't count, no? The result of the cage match doesn't. Yeah.
Thanks, Roman. Oh, Emile.
You know, I said Seth is gonna win.
Okay. Carlo, ikaw.
I don't know. Like, I don't have an informed opinion on this matter. Parang every time that I push myself into thinking one will win, parang, bakit doon? Di ba mas maganda kung ganito? So,
Yeah.
I'm coming into this with total blindness. No idea, bro. I legitimately have no clear opinion on who I think will win this.
I feel like they're also debating within themselves.
Di pa tapos no?
Yeah, I feel
that
like,
could be the case.
Tanong natin kay Emile, baka alam niya. Baka nakita niya na eh.
Whoever has the best entrance will win it.
Dami ng mga ano.
Is Roman Reigns getting a new wise man?
What for?
Does he need
No
one?
one's worthy.
No, I'm just asking. You can say whatever you want.
No one's worthy.
Okay.
I don't think he needs one anyway.
Sige.
I actually like the idea na nagkatotoo yung sinabi ni Cody kay Roman na you will be a chief without a tribe. And if Heyman actually leaves Roman Reigns, yun na yun. That's the last one, di ba?
Yep.
Wala na eh. Wala na sina Jimmy, sina Jay, Sammy. They've all gone their separate ways. And I think the next step in the Roman Reigns tribal chief arc is to really see what he does on his own, completely solo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, WrestleMania Sunday. Oh my God, guys, we have one more card to predict.
Oh boy.
We'll be right back. All right, before we get to WrestleMania Sunday predictions, let's say what's up to Lloyd, who approached me yesterday on my way out of Araneta after PBA. Sabi niya, fan daw siya of Tagalog commentary, tapos humingi siya ng predictions. And I was like, inside, no thoughts head empty na ako eh. Sabi ko, CM Punk na lang bro.
Ang haba kasi nung game, no?
Oo, nag-overtime pa puta. Sobrang mash na yung utak ko. But thank you, Lloyd, for coming up and saying hi. May question dito in the comments from Akira Q. Pwede mo magdala ng laptop sa watch party?
Yeah, sure.
Hindi daw siya magsisick leave eh.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Magla-log in siya mula sa skinny mics.
Siguraduhin niyo malapit siya sa charger.
Oh, basta wag ka mag-leech dun sa wifi kasi kailangan nyo ng bar.
Pag bumagal yung internet, ikaw sisisihin namin.
Oo. Ikaw yung Jojo ang bagay ng skinny mics.
Bakit? Maano ba? Mataas ba yung requirements ng Microsoft Teams?
Sa amin sa WWE, mataas eh. All right, WrestleMania Sunday. Before we get to the matches, let's start with the wild card here, which is Randy Orton and his WrestleMania fate. So we've been hearing a lot about Randy Orton. Hindi pa rin natin alam what he's gonna do. Who's he fighting at Mania? Meron bang match to begin with? Or is he just gonna drop someone with an RKO? So it can go so many different directions. Last week we mentioned Nick Aldis, maybe Rusev, maybe Aleister Black, whoever's supposed to appear on 425-25. What's happening here?
I think they will keep 425-25 guy on 425-25. Kasi wala na eh. Parang naka-promote na kung kailan yung return, return, debut, whatever that is, of whoever that guy is. So it has to be someone else. Parang initially I kind of thought Solo would make sense, but then parang why? Parang who would want to watch a match between Orton and Solo at this level with no build? I mean, it's something that you can do maybe later on down the road and then make it mean something. Pero itong WrestleMania, I think it's a return or a debut of someone. Just for it to make sense. Yung pop na lang of the return would make it worth it.
I feel like Orton's gonna drop a celebrity with an RKO. That's my
Sino celebrity, Emile?
Si Speed ulit.
Kala ko sasagutin niya si Eruption eh.
Yeah, I think it can be anyone.
I would need context on Eruption.
Eruption is also on the slate of Nate. Kasi Chris Jericho may list of Jericho.
No, he's not just on the slate of Nate. Eruption, Eric Tai, is Emile Nate's arch nemesis.
Okay, the context of that is
No. I don't need context. I have enough information and I'm still on your side, bro. If you ever need backup in a dance-off, I got you. I will practice ting 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 tang tang ting.
Oh my God.
May Carlo, may clip si Eruption yung pinapatay siya dun sa Incognito. Pinapanood yun ni Emile every day and he jizzes while watching it.
That is every day. Pero, yeah, kasi, di ba WrestleMania, they always bring out celebrities. So, I feel like that's...
Speed nga.
Yeah, might as well bring out Speed kasi he's entertaining. So...
Sabi ni Doc G, what if si Matt Riddle kasi happy 420?
And then Randy Orton literally murders him
with a 420 football.
All right, so up in the air. None of us know. We know nothing. Okay, Women's Tag Team Championship. We'll start here. It's Liv and Raquel versus Bailey and Lyra.
I don't like the idea of Lyra being a double champion. Hindi ko siya gusto because I feel that both the United States Women's Championship and the Intercontinental Championship must get its own flow, diba? You're trying you added those championships because you wanted more shine on more people because your women's division kumakapal na diba? It's getting stacked on both sides. So why would you then use one person to be champion of a tag team championship and an intercontinental championship when the point was, when the overarching story was, you want more women touching titles. So that's why I think Liv Morgan and Raquel should retain.
Okay.
I agree. Liv and Raquel retains here. Kasi may sariling story sila, si Lara and Bailey that I don't think they need to be tag champions.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Ro.
I'm gonna throw it back to my prediction for Stand and Deliver, diba? So, I feel like Roxanne and Cora is gonna come up, and if I predicted that, I have to follow it up here. So I feel like Lyra and Bailey are gonna win, and then they're gonna feud with Raquel and Liv on Raw.
All right. Next is the big money matchup between AJ Styles and Logan Paul.
Hey, Logan.
Nanalo na ba si Logan sa Mania?
Doon tayo sa doon tayo sa pwedeng pumunta ng Japan.
Napatanong ako kanina, bigla if nanalo na si Logan sa Mania. Then I remembered last year he actually retained the US title. Kasi akala ko di pa siya nanalo eh. Like he always put on a show but he always loses at the end. But I remember he won last year. So I think AJ needs a win here.
Carlo,
I think Logan's gonna win. I think Logan's up for a big year. Maybe the biggest year of his stint so far.
May nabasa akong article this past week on Cage Side Seats where they said na Karrion Kross sacrificed himself for the future of pro wrestling. Kasi parang yung character ni Kross, inuudyok niya si AJ Styles, diba? So that he will defend wrestling against Logan Paul. What do you guys think about that? I thought it was a very inspired take.
Parang I had to double take nga because I thought I saw Karrion Kross put his arms behind him to take.
That's also what I saw.
Phenomenal forearm, diba? Parang but then I don't think anyone from the US commentary team alluded to it.
Wala rin ako narinig.
Kaya
pero yun din yung nakita ko.
Kaya parang okay, sige. Hindi ko pwede, parang feeling ko hindi ko pwedeng ilabas, 'di ba? Parang ayoko magsarili na feeling ko yun yung nangyari, but I like that we saw the same thing.
I think when it comes to Karrion Kross, if you think that's what he's doing, it's probably what he's doing because he's been confirming that stuff for a while now. Diba? Kasi he's been confirming fan theories kasi parang he likes to bake in a lot of little details in his work that makes him more meaningful despite having relatively fewer screen time. So whatever it is, I think that's what he's doing. I think he's helping fill this story with nuance where you can't have as much nuance working with someone like Logan Paul.
All right. Moving on to the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. This should be fun.
This one I know what I need to see. I need to see Dominic Mysterio win the championship by pinning Finn. That's what I need to see. Like I'm sold on that being what I need from this match. I know it's going to deliver. It should. It's going to be fun. But at the end, I need Dominic to be a total heel by taking it away from Finn.
I agree. That needs to be yun yung dapat pangyari for me. Dom finally goes over Finn.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
See, babyface producer Jasper, who's in the Zoom chat and is the biggest Finn Balor simp on this podcast.
Sorry, Jasper.
Ended up making his presence felt sa chat.
Feel free to mute me at any point.
At least he's on the card, Jasper.
Gago. Wow.
Sabi ni Jasper tuloy, Pin Balor forever.
Pin Balor. He eats the pins.
Oh, but I'm interested. Like, what would it do for Penta if he wins here?
He becomes a champion.
Yeah.
Do you have him lose his first Mania?
No.
That's why he doesn't take the pin. I mean,
okay.
It's a 4-way.
If you don't take the pin in a triple threat in a 4-way, technically you don't lose. Except for
did you really
the
lose?
champion, diba? Yung matatalo lang naman ng ganun is the defending champion.
Yeah.
Right.
Diba? Same reason why Braun Breaker's in this match. Diba? He's the actual champion and if he's not gonna get pinned or submitted, diba? May claim pa rin siya.
Okay.
Next up, the Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Ito, before we get into the match, shout out to Drew McIntyre for putting together a very nice playbook for fans who will interact with wrestlers at WrestleMania. I know that Drew's the heel here, pero walang tapon yung sinabi niya. Lahat tama eh. So, parang awa nyo na guys. Sundin nyo please yung sinabi ni Drew McIntyre. Mag-DO kayo. Huwag kayong sasabat sa usapan. Huwag kayong creepy. Don't use government names. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
So,
Government names.
may kilala ako nung Monday Night Raw sa Manila 2006. Rob Van Dam comes out and yung kakilala ko was in the front row and yelled, Mr. Zatkowski!
Oh. Bro.
Yeah.
That's another level.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Priest versus Drew.
Drew wins, I think.
Drew wins.
Yeah.
Drew has to win.
Yeah.
Daming
I
utang
agree.
sa kanya ni
Oh.
ni Damian Priest.
That's true.
He has to win. And he's
Yeah.
been working so hard. I mean, parang 'di ba, ilang feuds yung binuhat nitong si Drew.
Yeah.
How many good storylines has he had in the past year after losing the championship in Mania? He's done so much, the entire thing with Punk. I think he needs this big heel WrestleMania moment.
Agree.
I agree. Drew needs to win so badly in this match. But at least, just give him a reward after putting over so many people in the last year.
At pwede ba, kung natalo ka sa street fight kay Bad Bunny, tatalunin mo si Drew? Okay ka lang?
That makes sense.
Okay ka lang?
That makes sense.
Natalo ka na
Yeah.
sa street fight kay Bad Bunny. Hindi ka pwede
That makes sense.
Gusto ko yung pati si Bad Bunny nahatak sa usapan ng puta.
Catching strays.
May home court advantage daw kasi si Bad Bunny.
Sure, I'm sure it was because of the entrance.
Oh,
I'm sure
Chambea
it was
pa lang,
because of
plus 20
Chambea.
na ruthless aggression niya. All right.
Hala!
Down to the last two matches for WrestleMania Sunday. The Women's World Championship will be defended by Io Sky against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
Have you talked about that moment when Io came in?
Which
wearing
one?
Wearing the
The booty shorts.
Yeah.
Hindi pa.
There was legit 8 seconds of silence between me and Stan. 8 seconds. You can count it. Like, oh Lord. It is here and we can't say anything.
Check.
Because we are not Jerry Lawler.
Because we are professionals.
That's right.
Who's winning this one?
I'm gonna have Io retain here. Wala na, kasi Io's my favorite women's wrestler in WWE. And wala eh. Trip ko talaga si Io, so I go Io with the win here. People are saying Bianca to protect the streak. People are saying Rhea because she's so over, but I think Io makes the most compelling case here to win, in my opinion. So I go with Io.
There was a straight line between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, right? It was straight. Wala ka nang kailangan gawin. After Elimination Chamber, Rhea retains, and then silang dalawa, 'di ba, sa WrestleMania, and then you can pick and choose who you'd side with over Rhea as the defending champion or Bianca as the challenger. But the fact that they put Io into this and then not make her win seems awkward to me.
Yeah.
Na parang, bakit mo pa siya sinali? Why go through all of that to not make her win? And the way that it's being written, na parang afterthought itong si Io Sky, it makes me a little confident that she will pull it off. And then you create this star at the level of Bianca and Rhea in Io. Then you have 3 can't miss prospects, 'di ba? Parang circling each other, and then that could move forward. You can fight any combination of that through any of the next PLEs, and maganda pa rin yung laban kahit anong kombinasyon.
I think we compared the way this story went. We kind of compared it to the build as well to WrestleMania 20, where the Royal Rumble winner was deemed as the outsider. Siya yung naging parang saling pusa.
So how do we do this here? How like I
So
want to know
Io.
the rules of this discussion.
We can say his name.
No.
We can say his name.
Joe Henry.
So si Benoit yung winner, but he was parang parang siya yung naging saling-pusa lang sa feud ni na Shawn Michaels and Triple H. But at the end, it was him who won. So I feel like the same is gonna happen here. Kaya I would pinili.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Ro.
I unfortunately think Bianca's gonna win. It's not what I want. It's not what I want. I agree that Io should win, but I unfortunately think that Bianca's gonna win because she is still the John Cena figure that Triple H has, especially for the women. Even though medyo sinusuka na siya ng mga crowd, I think they're gonna go back to that well. But if they do go back to that well, I hope they understand what they're gonna do here. Kasi Bianca is unfortunately the most unpopular choice among the three. So I hope that they have a plan in place for when they do that. Otherwise, you should just give it to either Rhea or Io.
Ito I'm not sure how this affects anything, but the Women's World Championship is still the Raw Women's title.
Sure.
And Bianca is still a SmackDown star.
Hindi pa siya. That's what they've done.
Yeah,
I guess.
the reason
That's what
why
they've
they
done
changed
right now, yeah.
the reason why they changed the title is that so that they don't have to do that title
Right,
switch
yeah,
anymore.
Yeah. Siya, yung taong nililipat, hindi yung hindi yung title.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just need to see Io win. Yun lang. My completely unprofessional opinion. I just need to see my bias win.
Okay.
All right. The undisputed WWE Championship, the fate of our industry, is up for grabs. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena.
Cena's gonna ruin wrestling.
If you're thinking of sheer storylines and matches that could happen in the near future, sobrang lalim nung well if John Cena wins, right? You could go so many different directions with it. You can run it back with any particular superstar who Cena has feuded with throughout the years, and it'll be good, and it'll be main event, and it'll sell out a premium live event, right? But Cody works so hard, bro.
Yeah.
Yun nga eh.
Oh, what a true company guy. I mean, I don't know if this is putting too much out of in terms of what we do, but
No, I have a take.
kami ni Stan after SmackDown or after Raw, when we keep it playing, we get to see the dark match. Parang umeere pa rin sa amin yung dark match, and we see, I mean, hindi naman kaila sa lahat that these things exist, right? But we see Cody coming back to wrestle Carmelo Hayes or 'di ba, parang lalabas pa rin talaga siya after all of that just to make sure that the crowd goes home happy, and that's the kind of champion that he has been for this entire year, and I really don't want it to stop. But on the other end, I'm so excited to see Cena against Punk or against Orton or against any other name that could be fresh or a rehash of what he has done before. Kaya parang, di ba pwedeng manalo kayong dalawa? Nakakainis eh. Kasi parang I won't get something that I want either way. Parang kahit saan ako pumunta, there's something that I want that's not possible anymore.
Yeah,
That's how I'm approaching this match.
Okay. According to the wrestling logic, Cody stood tall against Cena in his last appearance before WrestleMania. So that means naturally that that Cena is gonna win and get back his dignity, diba? And in a perfect world, in a perfect John Cena heel turn, I would have wanted Cena to win. Because Carlo's right. There's so many stories to be told. The well is so deep with a John Cena win, with championship number 17. But the problem is Hollywood Cena ruined everything. Diba? He's ruining wrestling by ruining wrestling. He couldn't be asked to show up for the last 2 episodes before WrestleMania. Because whatever, he has prior obligations, diba? For whatever reason. And we're not begrudging him that. But if this is how it's going to be before he wins the championship, imagine when he actually wins the championship and goes away for months on end. We're going to go back to Roman Reigns all over again. Diba? And and the difference between him and Roman Reigns is Roman goes away, but he comes back in time to build a story.
Mm-hmm.
If John Cena goes away, hindi mo alam kung kailan siya babalik. Diba? Kasi ang dami ng project na iba. And you don't know when those projects are gonna mess up storyline build-ups, diba? Story builds, diba? And that's what makes me not want to see a John Cena win. Hollywood Cena has ruined his final year. That's what I've seen from this build-up to WrestleMania alone. So okay sana eh, but wala. It's not popping. It's not giving. So I kind of I kind of need Cody to win this one and find themselves another challenger for him to beat, or for another challenger to beat him rather.
I think I said something after the chamber na Cena turning heel and doing this story with Cody Rhodes is basically the biggest stamp of approval for Cody as the next face of WWE. And you solidify that by putting him over Cena. I can see the argument of Cena winning title number 17, and that's going to be historic, and that's going to break the record. But yung points na Ro has said, that's also true. Pag si Cena yung naging champion, we're gonna go back to years of or to the days of not having the world champion on TV. So parang it's I know going backwards, I guess. But yeah, I could see the appeal, like the matchups that Carlo said. But in my opinion, I want the WWE to be moving forward na talaga with Cody as the number one babyface. And a way to do that is, put him over the previous number one babyface in the company, and that's how you do it. I go Cody.
All right. People in the chat, iba-iba yung sinasabi. Iba gusto si Cody, iba gusto si John Cena. Ninong Derv wants John Cena to get number 17 by beating Jay for the World Heavyweight Championship. How funny would that be? That would be a trip pag yun yung mangyari. Get your predictions in dito sa comments, or you can still send them to us at Wrestling2XPod on TikTok, Twitter, and Blue Sky, at Wrestling Podcast everywhere else. Individually, it's at Roiswar, at EML_Meister, at Chino Supersized, at _Stancy. For Carlo, it's at Carlo_Pamintuan. We've got some questions here from the listeners. So let's get to them for Carlo. Ito. How does it feel that you and I were in a very fortunate position to open the door for opportunities in the wrestling scene as the first Pinoy commentary team from the Philippines? That one's from Lance.
No, I take it as a huge honor and a huge responsibility kasi these are things that no one really imagined were possible, diba? Parang hindi mo naman inaakala that there's a chance that you would be working for a company that you have followed and supported since you were young. So opening the door, yes, it's important. And again, we take it very seriously. That's why we put in the work, we put in the preparations, because we don't want to screw this up. Diba? Parang lagi naman ganun eh. No one will tune in to hear me and Stan. That's how I think about it. No one will tune in to hear my commentary or Stan's commentary. But people can tune out because of us. That's the responsibility that I take with this. Pwedeng magpalit sila, pwedeng iwan nila if they don't like what they hear. So that's why we need to do our best all the time. And it's not just for us. It's for a bunch of hungry Filipinos who want their voice heard as well in the wrestling industry. If it's not WWE, it's everywhere else, diba? Parang maraming passionate fans that need to be heard. And well, if you thought that we opened the door for all of you, then we appreciate you, and we're trying to do this for you as well.
Yeah, si Ro pa lang is already on Triller TV, one of the voices of Dexcon and World Underground Wrestling, diba? So it already goes to show that these things can be possible, just with a little bit of luck as well.
Yes, sir.
Can't deny that. Eto, question from Jace in the patron group. Anong initial reactions mo nung sinabi ko on air na gusto ko magpaapa kay mommy?
Face palm, and then acceptance, and then it happened again, and then it happened again, and now wala na eh. Parang hinihintay ko na mangyari. Parang I give him the runway, di ba? Pag nandiyan na, pag entrance na ni Rhea Ripley, parang okay, Stan, you do your thing, you talk to your people. Parang I step back because that's his moment.
Yes, we step back so we can get stepped on. This one is from Jackie. How often do you immerse yourself in Philippine social media so you can use timely references on commentary?
No, I try. I try. Parang may nakakasa ako nung NXT. Pero sobrang short kasi nung entrance ni Carmen Petrovic at saka ni Ashante Diadonis. Kakanta ako ng Ebat Adan eh. Ready na ako eh. Saan ko pwedeng ilagay yung Ebat Adan, Ebat Adan? Pero ang bilis nilang pumasok. I think they did it on a gap kaya hindi ko siya nalabas. But parang even in my work sa PBA, people want to hear you talk about the things that they also see on their social media feed because it creates an instant bond. Parang paminsan more than the game, I drop a shiminette when it was popular and then I'll get a tweet. Then I'll get a tweet na parang, oh, Sir Carlo, narinig ko yun. Parang natawa kami ng anak ko, blah, blah, blah. Parang more than the game moments, like more than the Brownlee winners, it's the relationship building between the viewer and me. Diba? Kaya parang importante sa akin yun. I need to be immersed. I need to be watching what you're watching. I need to be in tune with where social media is at the current moment para masakyan ko rin. It's important.
Narinig mo yan, Emile. Dapat lagi ka na sa social media.
Yeah, it's also one way to kind of set yourself apart, diba, from the previous generation because the previous generation probably isn't as in tune, diba? Sa mga social media references or the memes, whatever is popular with the younger generation, and it's not us taking a shit on the older generation. It's just really how it is.
Yep.
Diba? And if you want, or at least ako, my take on this, even going back to my days on the radio, I've always wanted to listen to my people. And if I can be that for someone else, then as Carlo said, diba, that helps you really build that relationship, that connection with the listeners or the viewers.
Nung 50th anniversary ng PBA, I legitimately said in front of the 50 greatest players in PBA history and all of the governors, I said down since day one-ish. Just to get my wrestling people to pop. Parang ganun na siya sa akin eh. I take it.
Ba?
Yeah.
May nakagets ba?
Si Randolph Leongson, siya lang.
Si Randolph Leongson, si Justin
Ruben Terrado,
sila Rube, si Terrado Brothers. Parang paminsan gagawin ko talaga even if it's something that only 10 people will understand out of 300. I'll still do it because it won't hurt. Wala namang masasaktan eh. Kung di mo magets, it flies over your head. But if you get it, then me and you are bros. Diba? Parang ganun kasi siya ka-automatic na bagay.
I'm not supposed to have a publicly favorite PBA team, but I low-key root for the Phoenix Fuel Masters kasi maraming wrestling fan dun.
May nakausap ka na?
Yeah. Si Coach L.A. Ratio, their performance coach, and then sina Ken Tuffin, Jason Perkins, apparently those guys are wrestling fans. All right, next. This one is from France. How do you take care of your beautiful voice?
It's here. It's right in front of me. Difflam.
Difflam.
That's the go-to, bro. I'm addicted to that. So yeah.
Makabili nga.
This one is from Doc G. What is your most memorable wrestling commentary moment?
Personal bias, of course, but I really like what me and Stan did nung Netflix debut nung Raw when we translated the hype up package to start. Parang doon ko naramdaman, oh shit, this is different. This is going to be good. Parang that's my, I think, top of my head. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm. Hindi yung CM Punk return na napa-English ka.
Nakalimutan ko yung trabaho ko.
Sorry, Emile, what were you saying?
Na for basketball, ano po yung most memorable calling niyo?
I mean, kanina di mo naman ako pinupo eh. Why does it regress to this? Basketball. If it's basketball, I really like the recent one, yung when New Zealand, when Gilas won against New Zealand for the first time. or if it's a PBA basketball moment, tough kasi sobrang dami na eh. Just one?
Yeah.
It has to be like a Justin Browley moment of some sort. Or maybe a tough. Maybe the Pogoy 3-point shot from the last year. Sorry, Governor's Cup Championship. TNT Ginebra. Yeah. Or the last Commissioner's Cup Championship. That was epic also.
Oh, yung Game 7 na third quarter pa lang pausa si Carlo.
Oh.
Tapos may SmackDown pa siya ng 1 a.m.
Oo, tapos overtime. Tapos nag-drive pa ako Araneta to Pampanga na nasira yung nasira yung sa Marilao. Diba? Parang yun yung time na may bumanggang truck dun sa Marilao. Parang okay, kailangan talagang pagdaanan itong lahat.
Last question. This one is from Jeff on the Facebook page. Which would you rather? Maapakan ni Mami or maging rope sa entrance nila?
Maging rope sa entrance ni Jasmine Nix.
If you've seen the Rhea Ripley C2 commercial, then
C4.
I think C4 pala, sorry, the C4 commercial. Yeah, a lot of us would like to be cans at this moment. So yun. If we could be inanimate objects, I think lata yung pipiliin natin. All right, that's it for the WrestleMania 41 predictions. Thank you to everybody who got your questions in as well for Carlo Pamintuan. And it's going to be a hell of a weekend for all of us wrestling fans. So sana sundin natin yung tip ni Drew McIntyre na magsuot ng deodorant kasi mainit ngayon, maanghit. So maligo po tayo at magsuot ng deodorant. And for those attending the viewing party,
Wala.
Frozen.
Naglag.
For those attending the viewing parties, be cool, guys. Be cool.
And Stan, don't do this to me live.
Yeah.
Bro. You can't. No. Stop it. Fix your internet.
GG Jasper. Sa dulo pa siya nadali. But yeah, sige. I'll take over from here. Carlo, do you have any plugs?
No, just thank you for the love. I appreciate the opportunity to hang out with you guys. And nababasa ko rin yung comment section. Tuwang-tuwa ako sa inyong lahat. Like, if you see me out there in the wild, please, by all means, let's have a wrestling conversation.
Oh,
conversation.
yun.
I'm
Open
all
invite.
up for it. I'm all up for it.
Yun.
Emile, ikaw, pwede ka bang kausapin ng wrestling conversations?
Yeah, of course. People always do that naman when they see me sa mga viewing parties. So I always appreciate it when people would come up to us and tell us that they listen to the pod and they like our work. So thank you so much, and we will see you this weekend.
Right. As for me, I will plug the arrival of WrestleStorm 2 is next week, Monday morning, or rather Tuesday morning, Philippine time, right after WrestleMania, right before Raw After Mania on Triller TV Plus. So if you haven't had the chance to subscribe to Triller TV Plus just yet, go in na, guys, trillertv.com. It's only $299, super mura, the cheapest, the most affordable wrestling subscription that you'll ever get in the world. And you also get shows like Progress, GCW, Bloodsport, all that good stuff with your Triller TV Plus subscription. Right? Thanks again to Babyface producer Jasper and the team at the Pot Network for always making us sound great as always. And if you want to join the conversation, it's at Wrestling2X Pod on Twitter, Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. For the indisposed Stancy, for our guest Carlo Pamintuan, for Emile Nate, this has been Romaran, and we will see you all at WrestleMania, whether it's on the Tagalog stream or the viewing party at Skinny Mike's or wherever you want to watch it. We will be there right there with you. Right? Wrestling Podcast out. Peace.